the Appalachian Mountains. For generations, Americans have believed these ancient peaks hold the soul of country music. The twang of a banjo, the cry of a fiddle, the stories of hardship, faith, and resilience. We've been told that country music was born in these hollers, that it sprang from the soil of Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Carolinas. We've heard the family legends, the whispered stories of Cherokee grandmothers, the tales of pioneers who conquered the frontier. But what if I told you that the greatest stars in country music history, the voices that defined American culture, carry DNA that tells a radically different story? What if the roots of country music don't lie in the Smokies at all, but across the Atlantic Ocean? Welcome to Famous Roots. Today, we're conducting a DNA audit of country music's biggest legends. And what we've uncovered will change everything you thought you knew. If you love uncovering the hidden truths behind American icons, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we follow the bloodlines of the famous, because the truth is always more fascinating than the legend. Now, let's begin our investigation. Dolly Parton, the Mountain Queen, the embodiment of Tennessee. Her very identity is wrapped in the imagery of Appalachia, the 4th of July baby born in a one-room cabin, raised on the edge of the Great Smoky Mountains. For decades, Dolly has represented authentic American country roots. But when genealogists traced her maternal line, the Owens family, they made a stunning discovery. Dolly Parton is 100% Welsh on her mother's side. Not Appalachian, not even mixed. Her Owens ancestors came directly from Tenby, a picturesque coastal town in Pembrokeshire, Wales. The very DNA that Americans associate with mountain music sailed across the Atlantic from the rugged coast of Wales. The irony? The Celtic soul that Dolly channels in songs like Coat of Many Colors isn't American at all. It's the ancient voice of Wales, reborn in the Smokies. Tim McGraw, the son of a baseball legend, Tug McGraw, the man who made country music synonymous with American masculinity and heartland values. But Tim's DNA reveals one of the most unexpected stories in our investigation. His mother, Betty D'Agostino, carried Italian and Irish blood. The D'Agostino name tells the story, a lineage that traces back to southern Italy, far from any Tennessee hollers. But the surprises don't end there. Tim's paternal side, the McGraw line, reveals Bohemian Czech, Dutch, and German ancestry. This isn't the simple frontier story we expected. This is a European tapestry woven across generations. And here's the kicker. Genealogists discovered that Tim McGraw shares a direct ancestral connection to George Washington himself. The man who sings about small-town America carries the blood of founding fathers and European immigrants, a reminder that American has always meant from somewhere else. Garth Brooks, the best-selling solo artist in American music history, the man who brought country music to stadiums. His Oklahoma roots run deep, or so the story goes. But when researchers traced the McElroy-Carroll line, Garth's ancestral bloodline, they found themselves not in Oklahoma, but in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. The McElroy and Carroll families emigrated from Ireland during the great waves of the 1800s, carrying with them the Celtic storytelling tradition, the haunting melodies, and the working-class grit that would define Garth's music. Listen to The Dance, or Friends in Low Places, again. What you're hearing isn't just American country, it's the echo of Irish pub songs, of Celtic ballads, of generations who crossed an ocean but never left their musical soul behind. Garth Brooks isn't the exception. He's the rule. Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter. Born in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky, Loretta's entire brand was built on Appalachian authenticity. And like many families in the region, the Lynns passed down stories of Cherokee heritage. A Native American grandmother somewhere in the family tree. It's a common narrative in Appalachia, a source of pride, a connection to the land that predates European settlement. But when genealogists and DNA analysts investigated Loretta's lineage, they found something different. The records are clear. Loretta Lynn's ancestry is Irish, Scottish, English, Flemish, Welsh, Dutch, and German. There is no documented Cherokee heritage, no Native American DNA. This isn't a criticism of Loretta, it's a reflection of how family stories evolve. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, claiming Cherokee ancestry was sometimes a way to explain darker features, to romanticize poverty, or simply to feel connected to the American land. But the truth is just as powerful. Loretta Lynn descended from Celtic and Germanic immigrants who came to Kentucky, brought their fiddle tunes and ballads, and created the sound we now call country music. The Cherokee grandmother was a legend, but the European roots, those are the reality that built a genre. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. But before Elvis shook his hips and changed American music forever, he was a country boy from Tupelo, Mississippi, and his DNA tells the story of a European mosaic. On his father's side, the Presley name itself is a clue. Originally spelled Pressler, Elvis's paternal ancestors were German immigrants, but the line also carried Scottish blood, Highlanders who settled in the American South. His mother's side reveals even more. Irish ancestry from County Wicklow, a place known for its music and poetry, combined with French Huguenot roots. Protestant refugees who fled persecution in France. Elvis Presley, the man who embodied American rebellion and rhythm, was a walking anthology of European immigration, German discipline, Scottish stubbornness, Irish soul, French elegance. The king wasn't purely American. He was a European symphony, reborn in Mississippi. Willie Nelson, the outlaw, the red-headed stranger. For decades, Willie himself claimed to be three-quarters Cherokee. It was a point of pride, a core part of his identity. He spoke about it in interviews, wove it into his public persona, but official records tell a different story. When genealogists examined birth certificates, census data, and immigration papers, they found no Cherokee ancestry. None. What they found instead was English and Irish heritage, European bloodlines that stretch back across the Atlantic. This revelation doesn't diminish Willie Nelson's legacy. If anything, it reinforces the central thesis of our investigation. The family legends we tell ourselves, no matter how deeply we believe them, are often just that. Legends. Willie's music carries the soul of Ireland and England, not the Cherokee Nation. And that's not a betrayal. It's a historical fact that helps us understand where American music truly came from. Johnny Cash, the man in black, the voice of American rebellion, faith, and suffering. And like many country legends, Johnny grew up hearing stories of Cherokee heritage. His family believed it. He believed it. For decades, it was part of the Cash mythology. But when DNA analysis and genealogical research were completed, the results were definitive. Johnny Cash had zero Cherokee ancestry, not a trace. Instead, what researchers found was extraordinary. Johnny Cash was 100% Scottish and English. his bloodline traced back through centuries of Scots-Irish immigrants who settled in Arkansas. But the revelation doesn't end there. Genealogists discovered that Johnny Cash was a direct descendant of 11th century Scottish royalty in Fife. The man in black, who sang about prisoners and the downtrodden, carried the blood of kings. Think about that. The man who championed the forgotten, who recorded live albums in prisons, who embodied American working-class struggle, descended from Scottish nobility. Johnny Cash's voice wasn't born in the American South. It was forged in the highlands of Scotland, carried across the ocean, and reborn in the cotton fields of Arkansas. The Cherokee legend was powerful. But the Scottish truth? That's breathtaking. So, what have we learned? That country music, the most American of all American art forms, is actually a transatlantic bridge. The fiddles came from Ireland. The ballads came from Scotland. The storytelling came from Wales. The discipline came from Germany. The legends we told ourselves about Cherokee grandmothers and pioneer roots, they were beautiful stories. But the DNA tells a different truth. We are all immigrants, every single one of us. These 7 artists didn't just make country music. They proved that America's greatest strength has always been its ability to take the music, the culture, and the DNA of a dozen European nations and forge something entirely new. If you want more investigations like this, where we follow the bloodlines of the famous and uncover truths that change history, subscribe to Famous Roots right now. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode, because the truth is always more fascinating than the legend. I'm your host. This is Famous Roots. And remember, we all come from somewhere else.